Hey everybody, welcome to the program. We are going to speak a little bit tonight about a master luthier that need not be forgotten. And his name is Scott Baxendale, and he is still building guitars. If you've been on the channel at all, then you know I'm a huge fan of that man from the standpoint of building guitars, and just a genuinely nice individual. I have two Baxendales up against the wall over here. I've got a 69 Silvertone. I've got '60s Stella that's all solid birch. Both of those are triple O guitars. And then last year when I was in Santa Fe, I picked out a 1958 Harmony Monteray and asked Scott to rebuild that one for me. And I got this in a few months ago. Haven't had time to do much of a review on it at all. So consider this a review on this guitar as well. It is, it's got the typical thick neck on it that you would see out of that era. This is an arch top and an arch back. It's an F-hole. I believe you can see that. Yeah, right there. See that? And Scott added a pickup to it and a volume control. And I did not adjust anything on the amplifier behind me when I did these videos. Of playing it, and it just sounded so beautiful. I just left it and didn't touch it. So, but a very beautiful guitar, a lot of character to this old guitar, and it'll be right here at the house for many years to come, I hope. So one of the reasons I wanted to just do at least one more video and have some discussion about Scott is you have to understand that folks like Stuart Mossman and Scott Baxendale really paved the way for a lot of the boutique builders that you see today. Collings, there's several of them, and I'm not going to try to think of all of them right now. I'm still thinking about the fact of where I have to go next week. And so I'm a little preoccupied with that at the moment. But there are several boutique builders out there, and they got their marching orders or their inspiration from people like Stuart Mossman and Scott Baxendale. If you haven't heard the Mossman story, just dig back in my videos. I did a video on Stewart, and I've talked about Scott a little bit on the channel, but I wanted to do a video primarily about him because the man has been involved in this industry for 50 plus years now. Do I have that right? would have been the 1970s, I think, when Scott started. You know, he built a couple of guitar bars whenever for what's the name of that? Hard Rock Cafe. So when Scott was in Winfield, Kansas, he ended up, after he left, I believe it was after he left Winfield, Kansas with Mossman, that he went to work for Gruhn Guitars, vintage guitars. He took care of things like the Roy Acuff Guitar Museum. He took care of Johnny Cash's guitars. He took care of just a number of people. If you go back and look, Willie Nelson, I could think of a few more. I'm going to drop a link to his bio where all of these people are listed. I did not know that about Scott when I first met him. I just want you folks to know that. I saw a 69 Silvertone that you're going to have heard already or will hear in this video. And I thought, this is interesting. I've never seen this before. So it talked about how it was a conversion, Baxendale conversion. So I ordered that guitar. But now, before I did, I actually got in touch with Scott. And I thought he was just, he was a guy that just kind of rebuilt catalog guitars. I did not know that much about him at all. But he answered my phone call, and we've been talking ever since, and that was 6 years ago. I actually went out to Santa Fe, New Mexico to pick this one out, to have him rebuild from his stock upstairs there in his shop, and where we got to spend a little bit of time together. He is very accessible. We text periodically. I wouldn't say we were close friends, but we are definitely, there is a friendship there. And I've got a lot of respect for the amount of talent that man brings to the table when it comes to guitars. He does not just do catalog guitars. He builds custom guitars called Baxendale for a lot of folks that you would know in the music business. And not just country, but folk, rock, all that. In Dallas, when he moved operations from Winfield, Kansas to Garland, Texas, which is about an hour and a half from me, he was commissioned by the Hard Rock Cafe to build 2 guitar bars that looked like guitars. And one of them was a Stratocaster, the other one was a Gibson Les Paul, with the period correct finish on those bars. The same finish that was on the original guitars. It was on a 10-to-1 scale, so about 10 times bigger than, a regular guitar. And that's pretty wild. So if you can find some pictures of that, you will. Now, I may try to find a few and put them up while we're talking about it. But if it hadn't been for folks like Scott and Stewart, you wouldn't see a lot of these boutique builders you see today. And if you did see them, they wouldn't have the tone and the sound that they do coming from those guitars had it not been for the inspiration provided by folks like Stuart Mossman and Scott Baxendale. So I wanted to mention that, not a super long video here, but I wanted to bring this guitar and show you and allow you to hear a little bit of it as well as a few of the other ones in the same video. And just to say thank you to Scott Baxendale for all that he's done and all that he's going to do in the music business. A more talented guitar luthier, I do not know. Thanks, Scott, for everything you do. I always appreciate everybody coming to the channel and checking out the videos. It's very kind of you. And take care of your friends, take care of your family. God bless. We'll see you next time.